Hello everyone, my name is Mario for Cost Spirit and welcome to the channel. Anyways, this video is going to be a video about how we treat our elderly. I think the way elderly being treated in North America, I don't know about the rest of the world, but at least in North America, could be a lot better than what it is. The other day, this is Saturday, March 22nd, last Sunday, I went down to go see my grandmother in the hospital, and when I walked into the hospital, I could see her arms were all black and blue and all that, and I could see this nurse. Had bands wrapped around her arms, right, and he's messing around with her hand. He's trying to find a vein to put an IV in, I guess, right? So my grandmother's 97 years old, and it doesn't matter to me if it's my grandmother or any other elderly person. And for a matter of fact, any person whatsoever really doesn't matter to me. It's a little more not pleasant seeing this done to elderly people. So this guy's trying to find, and he's got a needle, and he stabs her in the hand, and she screams, right? And I'm like, what the heck, right? And like, for me, I don't understand this. And especially with dentists as well, they have a lotion, right? Like a freezing lotion, call it cream, call it whatever you want. They have a pre-freezer they could put on these areas, like on your jaw or on your hand, whatever, before they actually stick the needle in, which will make it a lot less painful for the individual. So we're supposed to be an intelligent society. I do not see any intelligence in not putting that whatever it is on before we stick a needle in our bodies. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? So he puts it in, and then I guess he's saying, well, the nerve is the vein is fragile, so it just exploded or whatever. So he's got to do it again, right? So my mother leaves, so I'm watching this guy, right, and he's got her wrapped up, and he's moving stuff on her, trying to find something. He's rubbing her hand to find the vein and all that. And I'm like, well, and I told him about this pre lotion, whatever the heck you want to call it. I go, can't you guys put that on me before you stick a needle into her? I think it'd be a lot less painful and a lot more humane. And the guy goes, well, he goes, that has to be prescribed by a doctor. So I told him, well, one guy at work this, and he says, yeah, you can buy that right over the counter. I'm like, this has to be prescribed by a doctor. Treating people humanely, that has to be prescribed by a doctor. This literally makes no sense to me, right? So then he goes, well, maybe I should use a smaller needle. So he uses a smaller needle, which she barely flinched, right? And it actually worked. I'm like, in school, do they not teach you when you, at a certain age, maybe you guys should use smaller needles? Maybe you guys should use pre-freeze at any age? Like, it literally makes no sense to me. To watch someone suffer for no reason. If they need more taxes, I'll give them more taxes. Right? They want another percent. Here, take the 1%. Not like I got lots of money, but I'd rather give that 1% than to watch these elderly people suffer the way they're suffering. It literally makes no sense. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. The other thing that I do not understand, I don't know how it is for the rest of the world, but I know over here, I'm talking about St. Catharines, Canada. And I know other places in Ontario, it's the province I live in, that's the same thing. But the parking that's around the hospital, we have to pay for. I do not understand that. This is probably the most vulnerable times of our lives, right? So you want to visit someone that you care about that's dying. I don't think you're actually doing cartwheels. I don't think you're like extremely joyful. I think you're probably pretty sad and kind of feeling a little vulnerable at the same time. Why do you have to sit there and grab a card, punch this number, put that ticket in? You put the ticket in and you spits it back out. You put it back. When I went for my father 2 years ago, right? He was dying. So, and good thing I'm a spiritualist, that I don't perceive death the same way as other people. So it's not as hard on me. But I'm like, I'm getting out. I put the ticket in. It spits it back out, flies out, falls on the ground. I have to get out of my car. There's a car behind me. I'm putting it back in. It's not working. I press the button. They're telling me something. So I have to go to the other location. Try it there. Why? 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 It makes no sense to me. Why are we paying? Well, you need more taxes? Take it. Take it. It's well worth giving more taxes to make that free. And for those times in our lives to be just to be able to park the car and go do what you need to do in a hospital and leave. It makes, like, to me, that makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more humane than actually, oh, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that, and whatever. It's just, to me, it really makes no sense. So I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. And you know, like I've said for a while, our beginning and our end should be taken care of. Okay, if we don't care for our beginning, means our children. If we don't care for our elderly, which means our end, which ain't really our end. It's just a transition to the spirit world, to another lifetime. But we'll just look at for right now as the end. Well, what do we got in the middle? If we abuse our children, and as adults, we won't be very healthy. If we abuse our elderly, then how do we sleep at night, right? In order to abuse someone, you must feel this abuse inside you first. Negative energy has to be used to abuse someone. So in order to abuse this person, you have to feel this negative energy inside you. So what does that do to your cells? What does that do to your immune system, your nervous system, your DNA, your telomeres, your overall health? Doesn't do good things. So, anyways, I wanted to bring that to anyone's attention, and you know what I mean? If you could talk about this kind of stuff, right? Sometimes that's all you can do, which is good. Talk about this stuff, bring it to people's attention. If you are in a position to tell politicians this stuff, please tell politicians. We all have our different tools. We all have our different, you know, areas in life where we can make a big change. So if you can, you know what I mean, go for it. Like, because one day, if you're 40 years old listening to this, one day you'll be 80 years old or 90 years old, and it'll be you laying in bed, like, and you can't move, and someone's sticking you and making you suffer for no reason, right? So anyways, we'll leave it there, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.